all the disrespect before you play back. Button check. Button check.
What is up, Button Check family? Welcome back to yet again a beautiful day of beautiful HT of buttons that need to be checked. We're gonna celebrate this one at the end of the video. Not like last week, we'll actually do it this time. But anyway, chapters down below, man. Appreciate the massive love. We got two hot topics, so without further ado, let's get some buttons. Let's go. All right, now to them. First set of Capcom promises the fan that they won't utilize AI, but at the same time will utilize AI in their games buttons that need to be checked. And the reason why I say that is because it's kind of fuzzy. A lot of people are saying this is bullshit or it won't hold, but check this out. You be the judge. So I noticed right here was the first posted on Event Hubs by Justin Gordon. Shout out to Justin. He posted this saying, Capcom issues a statement on how it won't utilize generative AI technology during game development. Okay, I guess they were doing some type of Q&A for some shareholders. Not really sure where it was located, but this is the rough draft. This is what you need to know right here, saying, I'd like to know how to handle generative AI in game development. Asked one of the questions during the Q&A summary according to Google Translate. Our company will not implement materials generated by our AI into the game content, simply responded Capcom. Now, they actually did say more than that, but that's the first statement. Our company will not implement materials generated by our AI into the game content, simply responded Capcom. So for one, that's telling us that they're saying that whatever we do generate from AI is not gonna technically go in the game, but also admitting, yes, we do use AI. So our AI is definitely here, but we're not gonna use it to where we're actually making characters and I guess graphics that you see in the damn game. But then it gets a little fuzzier, because right here they say, that implies the assets generated by artificial intelligence won't show up in the games themselves. Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean that Capcom won't make use of the generative AI during game development, and they're right here. However, we plan to actively utilize this technology. There you go, right there. We plan to actively utilize this technology to improve efficiency and productivity in the game development process, continued Capcom. Therefore, we are currently exploring ways to use it in various areas, such as graphics, sound, and programming. Okay, I thought we just said it wasn't going in the game. Well, utilize it, such as graphics, sound, and programming. That all sounds like stuff that's going to be in the game to me, so that's what I'm saying. Kind of crossing some wires there, or at least for me. Because like you just said you weren't going to use it, but then you said, but we do have it and we're going to figure out ways to utilize it for productivity and graphics and background and some music, everything that goes in the game. But there's different aspects to using AI. So you could use it to kind of get concepts. So maybe they create something, they put it in that damn AI machine and it cooks up something else and they're like, okay, we like that. Let's take it from there, have one of our artists go off of that and then put it in the game. Maybe that's what they mean. So maybe they mean like AI is helping us, but we're not solely an AI company. Therefore, we're not gonna give you any AI slop. How y'all feeling about that? Well, let me show you what the FGC feels about that, because down below, they say, here we go. Machine learning is a tool and it's here to stay, and it's going to be a part of game development to some extent, no matter what, even if it isn't directly generating assets used to the final product. At the end of the day, we're all going to keep judging games based on the same criteria as we always have. Others say, doesn't bother me either way. Then same, the quality of the product in the end is all I care about. So I saw a lot of those comments. How you feeling about that? Where they're like, yo, all I care about is the quality. If you guys are doing it this way, but you're dropping banger games, I mean, you're using AI to help you, but you're dropping banger games that don't look like AI slop, that's all I care about. How y'all feel about that? Continuing on saying, yeah, I think the moralizers right here, I think the moralizers around AI will fade in time. Adaptive seems to love these kinds of articles. I guess that's a shot at somebody else. And I feel like AI right here, I feel like AI is going to boil down the same way as a lot of products have. As the industry has developed, many physical products that were once made handmade or by hand from beginning to end are now almost exclusively made by machines, with humans maybe doing assembly or inspection at the end. We buy these mass products all the time, and nobody is going to argue of being able to buy a cheaper plastic chair from Walmart devalues a handmade walnut chair. So they're basically saying that this already exists and it's all around us. And nobody's gonna argue that if you buy a cheaper plastic chair, that it's going to devalue the handcrafted chair made of walnut, that somebody actually made themselves. On the contrary, it makes the handmade chair much more valuable than it was because fewer people are making them. I think that's what we'll eventually see in the digital space as a premium put on products that were actually made by humans. This is what current AI is best at, both when it comes to asset generation and programming prototypes ideally made from scratch, then during finalization, rewrite, recreate, and re-implement most of it. So I guess that's what they were trying to say. It needs to be regulated. We're just sleepwalking into this. They're wrapping it up right here. How many examples of AI, this is actually a good one, right here. How many examples of AI assets making it into release games in a whoopsies that was only supposed to be for testing / placeholder have we seen lately, all of which were discovered only because it was wide enough of a release that a decent size of fans called it out. Never forget when Capcom failed to spell their own name correctly, and tell me these temp assets won't get accidentally mixed into the final when there are so many assets in games today. And there you have it. So how y'all feeling, man? I guess if we're making an argument for Capcom in this case, one of the comments that stood out was this one right here said, this is what AI is best at, both when it comes to asset generation and programming prototypes ideally made from scratch, then during finalization, rewrite, recreate, and re-implement most of it. So if that's technically what's going on, then I don't know how the FGC would feel about that. I mean, obviously, they're admitting they have it and they use it and they're gonna continue to figure out ways to explore it more. So I think that's the other argument that you have, like, this ain't gonna hold. Like that last comment that we read, like, how many oopsies have we seen where they're like, oh, our bad, that wasn't supposed to be there. We just like put it there and we didn't catch it. That's what, like, they're gonna use it. The better this stuff gets, if they figure out more ways to use it and use less manpower, they're gonna do it. It's only a matter of time. But of course, that might be jumping the gun. Because if we're just sticking to what they're saying right now, how do y'all feel about that? If they're truly using AI in the right way, and I'm even confused. I'm not gonna lie. I'm confused nowadays. And what is the right way to use AI? Because it seems like so many people in the community, it's split. There's so many people that are like, this is bullshit. The sea levels is rising, and people is. I mean, there's a lot. I don't even know all to what lengths that AI actually does as far as like damaging the environment. But a lot of people are against it. If you use it, period, they hate you for life. But others are like, no, you could use it because let's be real, it's here to stay. But if you use it to, you're not firing people, replacing people, and still having that human touch, then it's acceptable. Do y'all agree with that? Because at the end of the day, like others were saying, I just care about the quality. At the end of the day, we're all judging the game on the same basis. So if you're giving us bangers that don't look like AI Slop, that's all we care about. And it's crazy to me because as soon as I was reading this one, I saw Dexerto post another article because Epic Games just laid off 1,000 employees. They literally just made a statement talking about they laid off 1,000 employees. You're talking about the devs that created Fortnite? Isn't Fortnite like $1 trillion? Like, so here's where I'm confused. So I think they went about it the wrong way, and I'm not even talking about the layoffs. I'm talking about when they made their statement. They did all these paragraphs of words right here. Let me pull it up right here, and I'm not reading all of this. But then they kind of sneak in there right here. Look at, since it's a thing now, I should note that the layoffs aren't related to AI. The layoffs aren't related to AI to the extent it improves productivity, and we want to have many awesome developers developing great content and tech as we can. So right off the bat, they're like, we just want to let you guys know this is not due to AI. We're not greedy. We didn't figure out a way to save money. It's not AI. It's not AI. And I think because they said that, they got a lot of people in the community saying, it is AI. They're saying bullshit. Why would you say it like that? So right here, they're like 1,000 plus layoffs and not related to AI. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of line that makes people question it even more. Because of right now, every tech cut instantly gets linked to AI. whether it's true or not. All right, so you got some people started off there, and then all the employees who aren't related to AI, showing this little clip of the bear right here. Y'all seen this TV show? It's actually pretty good. I'm waiting for the next season, if there's a next season. Y'all know if there's a next season? I'm talking too that much. Anyway, back to this. Aren't related to AI? Yeah, you get the gift. Aren't related to AI? Yeah, you get the gift. And not related to AI, but somehow 1,000 humans still got replaced by cost efficiency. Yeah, okay. Companies will say anything except we chose profit over people, and aren't related to AI is becoming the standard corporate script. Hard to believe when the timing is so convenient. Then down below, well, CEO memo. This has nothing to do with AI. Me, reading between the lines, we replaced you with something that doesn't ask for raises or bathroom breaks, and Fortnite made over $5 billion in 2024, can't afford to pay at least 3,000 employees, and to be honest, I have zero doubt that 90% of these companies, oh, this is a good point. Because when I read this tweet, I was like, okay, I actually kind of experienced this firsthand. So right here it says, to be honest, I have zero doubt that 90% of these companies are overstaffed with thousands of people who do nearly no real work. I bet it was because of AI, but not because AI replaced anyone, because they employed and it identified the full fat in the system. Talking about it was AI, but only because AI identified the fat in the system. Now, I don't know, I don't think I agree with that, with the latter, but the first part where it said 98% of these companies are overstaffed, I've got to see a couple esports companies on the inside, not too many, but a couple, and I did remember having the thought like, man, it seems like, this was before the bubble popped, by the way, I was like, it seems like they're spending a lot of money. There's a lot of equipment. There's a lot of cool stuff. It looks like a spa in a way for gamers. Like, it's really cool. And I couldn't help but thinking like, they just got it like that? There's so much money. And then once the bubble popped, it almost seemed like they did figure out, we didn't need all of this. Maybe we had too many people. Now, that's not saying that they don't need that many devs in game developers. I'm just saying, like, as far as like amenities, it seems like there was a lot then that was needed. Wrapping it up right here, saying every major studio is quietly using AI. Why did I say quietly and I said it quietly? Quietly using AI for QA, asset generation, and testing pipelines, and Epic is going out of their way to clarify layoffs aren't AI related, is itself the most interesting thing about this story. The denial kind of writes its own headline. And there you have it. That is Butt Check family. Definitely let me know how you are feeling, man. It's weird. It is weird, this whole AI thing. I don't know what to make of it. We do know that on one hand, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's just gonna keep getting bigger, more expensive. A lot of development teams, movies, everybody is using the thing. And the problem is when it's bad, it is terrible. And you can clearly tell that it's AI and being like, yo, why would y'all do this? And like somebody said, you spelled your own name wrong. How did that get approved? Like, all this other stuff is garbage. I saw a recent interview with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. I think it was on Joe Rogan. And they asked Ben about it. Let me see if I can find that clip. I'm gonna put it right here.
What I see is, like, for example, if you try to get ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini to write you something, it's really shitty. And it's shitty because by its nature, it goes to the mean, to the average. And it's not reliable. And I just can't even stand to see what it writes. Now, it's a useful tool if you're a writer and you're going, what's the thing? I'm trying to set something up, or somebody sends someone a letter, but it's delayed 2 days and it can give you some examples of that. I actually don't think it's very likely that it's going to be able to write anything meaningful, and in particular, that it's going to be making movies like from whole cloth, like Tilly Norwood. Like, that's bullshit. I think a lot of that rhetoric comes from people who are trying to justify valuations around companies where they go, we're going to change everything. In 2 years, there's going to be no more work. Right. Well, the reason they're saying that is because they need to ascribe a valuation for investment that can warrant the CapEx spend they're going to make on these data centers, with the argument that, like, oh, as soon as we do the next model, it's going to scale up, it can be 3 times as good. Except that actually ChatGPT-5 about 25% better than ChatGPT-4 and costs about 4 times as much in the way of electricity and data. So those, when they say that's like plateauing, the early AI, the line went up very steeply, and it's now sort of leveling off. I think it's because, and yes, it'll get better, but it's going to be really expensive to get better. It's going to be good at filling in all the places that are expensive and burdensome, and they make it harder to do it. And it's always going to rely fundamentally on the human artistic aspects of it.
That was very interesting to me because he was like, it's not as good as everybody thinks it is. It's not as advanced as all these teams and developers, especially the ones creating it, because they have to say that. They have to say that to get more investors to believe in what they're doing. So they're like almost like blowing it up to be something that it's not, at least not yet. So we'll see, obviously. That's all we can do. We'll see what happens. But besides that, what we could also see is some dope ass cosplay because it is HT, the most glorious day of the week. Let's get it started. All right, so here it is. We actually have two. I got you covered today. So somebody posted this saying Chinese national fitness model champion and cosplayer said it took more than 12 attempts to get Kyle's fire right for the photo shoot. What do you think? Check out the clip. It's actually pretty dope the way he did this. Slow-mo. Bam! What was that? What is he punching? That's dope as hell. Little fireball and then explosion. And then, of course, the man is ripped. He's a fitness model. Of course he's going to be ripped. Damn, they jamming with this music. Okay, so there you have it. I thought it was cool as hell. But for the second one, we got a banger as promised. This is some Sheva Alomar action from Resident Evil. Y'all ready? Hold on, let me rewind real quick. I want to hit y'all with the beginning. Y'all ready? Here we go. Bam! Now this is sideways. I don't know why the hell it's sideways. It look good sideways. But anyway, let's try to put it up the right way. Okay. I'm feeling it. Let's play one more. Why not play one more time? Ain't nothing wrong with one more time. Give me a shovel, because I'm digging it. Give me a shovel. I said, give me a shovel. I'm digging it. Somebody in the back. I say, I'm digging it. Man, whatever. Forget y'all. There it is one more time, Butt Check family. Appreciate y'all for stopping by, man. This will probably be the only video of the day unless we have some breaking news. But as always, I will see you tomorrow. Thank y'all for stopping by and the massive love. We got some sponsors coming up. I think we got one Thursday, maybe Friday as well. So either way, man, however y'all support, man, whether you rock with the sponsors or you don't, whether you just hit fast forward, you know what I'm saying, or you actually shop there and support your boy, either way. Thank you for stopping by, because without y'all stopping by, none of this happens, man. So I appreciate the massive love as always. I don't know what it is, but I know somehow, some way, it's about to get better. Love y'all forever. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
I can't keep playing this game. If Kazuya's the next game, if the next match is against Kazuya, I'm plugging. I don't care. Have I seen the White Fox trailer? No, I haven't. If the next match against Kazuya, I'm plugging and end the stream. I promise. If it's against Kazuya, I'm plugging and end the stream.